So you're thinking about taking a GLP-1 and you're wondering, does timing make a difference? I'm Danny, and this is Today Danny Learn. And today we're going to talk about what's the best time of the day to take your GLP-1 shot. I've been on Zepbound for 4 months now, and before that, I did Mounjaro, which is the same thing. And I've tried different times of the day. I've done my research, and I want to say I'm not a doctor, but this is solely based on my research and my experience. I want to start by saying that there's no universal best time to take your shot, but on a personal level, it could make a difference. So let's talk about morning versus night. There's no significant difference in efficacy if you take it in the morning or if you take it at night. So why does this video matter if morning and night has the same efficacy? Well, efficacy is not everything. If you're like me and you have a hard time remembering to take medication, first of all, you should have an alert on your phone that reminds you to take it. So if you choose to take it at night and for some reason you go to sleep earlier or you missed an alarm, you missed that day. So it's better to take it in the morning so that you have the whole day in case you forget to take it at the time that you're supposed to. You can still remember throughout the day. I like to tie new habits with habits that I already have. I think I learned that from the book Atomic Habits. So when I have my coffee, I know that it's time to take my shot. So it's easier to remember when you tie it to another habit that you already have. And in this case, for the purpose of remembering, I would say it's better to take it in the morning. But now there's another aspect to take into consideration, and that's side effects. So when I up my dose, I usually get more intense side effects. So then on the first week that I switched between 5 milligrams and 7.5, I did that shot at night. And that's because for the first hours when I increase my dose, I feel nausea, I feel queasy. So it's better to experience that when I'm sleeping so I won't even notice. So if you're a person who experiences intense side effects, it might be better for you to just take it at night. And before we get into which day of the week is best to take your shot, make sure to like and subscribe so you keep getting more content like this. To pick the best day of the week, once again, this is a personal choice and it's going to be based on your lifestyle. If you tend to sin on the weekends, if that's when you feel like you want to eat that delicious food that's not part of your diet, then you should be taking your shot maybe on a Friday, because then you're going to have the more intense appetite suppression during the weekend. Now, if you experience more intense side effects, maybe the weekend isn't a good option. Excuse me. Maybe the weekend isn't a good option because you don't want to feel nausea and constipation and all that good stuff on the weekend. Maybe you want to enjoy. Maybe that's when you go see your friends, or maybe that's when you go on trips. So you got to think about that. And I want to take an extra minute to give you this valuable advice. If you haven't started your GLP-1 treatment yet, when you get your prescription, wait a week, at least a week, before you start taking it. And why should you do that? When I was on Mounjaro, that was like when Zepbound wasn't even a thing. There were a lot of shortages. And that's why I quit my first treatment, because I had to jump from 5 milligrams to 10 milligrams, which was ridiculous, and experiencing the most crazy side effects because you're not supposed to do that. And what I learned from that is that it's always good to have some extra medication in case there's shortage or in case they take a while to ship. So when my doctor prescribed me the medication, I waited a whole week before I started taking it. So now I always have that backup in case anything happens and I can't get the medication on time. I've heard of people waiting a whole month. I don't know how that works because I have to meet with my doctor every month. So he would be like, why didn't you take it? But 1 week for me is giving me that peace of mind that in case there is a problem, I still have that week. Now let's talk about some special situations. If you experience nausea, it's better to take the shot after a small meal. Taking it on an empty stomach could cause you to have more nausea, and a large meal will most likely make you nauseous. If you have acid reflux, then don't take it right before bed. Another thing is to avoid injecting yourself right before intense workouts. When you do an intense workout, sometimes it makes the drug get absorbed faster, and that can lead to more side effects. Now that you know how to choose the best time and the best day of the week for you to take your shot, make sure to check out my video where I tell you where to inject yourself for 20% more appetite suppression. I'm going to add that video somewhere up here, so don't miss out. Let me know in the comments if you have any other tricks that you use to pick the best day or the best time of the day to take your GLP-1. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you when I learn some new stuff.